I'm Ashton Addison from EventChain for Investmentpitch Media and FinTech News Network. And today on Blockchain Interviews, we have Michelle Chuang, the COO of Asensys. Michelle, thank you so much for taking the time to come on the show. It's a pleasure to have you here today.
Thank you for having me. We're excited. Thank you.
You're very welcome. I'd love to start by understanding a little bit more of what the Asensys blockchain is. Could you start by giving the vision of Asensys and what are the specific solutions that you guys are solving?
Sure, absolutely. So I think the first thing is to start with what is blockchain solving for? I think the promise of blockchain, as our viewers know, is about security. It's about and through decentralization. However, the reason that blockchain hasn't been widely known or adopted in the mass market is due to the problem of scalability. And that is exactly the problem that Asensys is trying to solve for. We are here to solve for scalability, and through Asensys, we are able to provide scalability to enterprise as well as developers, that they can develop their apps. Enterprise can develop their solutions in a very secure, confident manner, and while being all in decentralized, that users can hold their data in their hands and therefore reaching that peace of mind.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's definitely been a scalability talk going on in the past few years with the Bitcoin blockchain and Ethereum blockchain, seemingly decentralized, but not able to scale to a global level. Now, how is the Asensys blockchain different from Bitcoin and Ethereum? How is it similar? And what have you done differently that's allowed you to scale past what these two blockchains are capable of?
That's a great question. So in terms of our distinction from other known platforms such as Ethereum or Bitcoin, is the fact that we approach our technology from a very different angle. Our key invention is called Asynchronous Consensus Zone. Basically, you're talking about all of the technology operating in parallel functions so that they each achieve more of a efficiency. So instead of a sequential function that everyone has to speak to one another. So basically the analogy I often give to my team is around, imagine yourself in a grocery store. You have one checkout stand. You're standing behind the checkout stand. You're getting frustrated. But all of a sudden, the grocery store opens up 10 different checkout stands. And that is Asensys, where you have 10 checkout stands. Every checkout stand is operating efficiently, and every customer can go through it as happily and efficiently as possible. And that is really our technology under the Asynchronous Consensus Zone. Also powered by what we have our proprietary technology, the eventual autonomousity around securing the efficiency of our technology, and also our proprietary platform of the COO new mining, which ensures the security of our platform, which all in three together that ensures the security and then also the efficiency, which achieves the scalability of our platform.
Very interesting. And I know it can get quite technical, and Bitcoin is technical enough for some people, so we don't want to dive into it too deep. But is there a compromise in security compared to the way that Bitcoin has the consensus of verifying transactions, where every node needs to have a copy of that transaction, or there needs to be a certain amount of confirmations? Is the asynchronous consensus zones similar to that?
No, absolutely not. So asynchronous consensus zone is not similar to that. The approach that we have in terms of asynchronous consensus zone is the fact that we approach it in a parallel function. So the analogy I just gave in terms of the grocery store. So we approach every transaction in its parallel format versus what some of the other players out there in the market right now approaches it in a very sequential manner. So in a sequential manner, you have to do one thing after another. In a parallel zone, you can do multiple things all together. So that is why we are achieving that scalability for this technology.
Great. And I know you're fairly early on in the project compared to Bitcoin. All projects really are, but in terms of the level of decentralization in Bitcoin, there is mining pools all around the world, but there's tens of thousands of people running nodes. Is that going to need to be the same, and will it be the same on the Asensys blockchain for the decentralization?
We have already run an experiment of thousands of computation altogether, and we have proven ourselves to be successful. And we have actually presented that in the recent NSCI Computer Science Forum, where it's been vetted by our peers who are computer scientists from MIT to Berkeley to Stanford. So we know that our technology has been vetted and it also has been confirmed as well as agreed upon. That's why we are very excited to share to the crypto world as well as the rest of all of the users on how we are going to be able to achieve decentralized model and providing security and while achieving scalability.
Mm-hmm. Great, Michelle. And can you speak on how long has the development been in progress? Are you at the testnet yet? And when will the mainnet be delivered?
Great. That's an awesome question. So we have actually been working on this technology for the past couple of years, and it has been, as I mentioned, that we have been through the NSCI forum, have been through multiple experiments, and so right now we are looking at launching our testnet in summer of this year. So that's very exciting for us. We have recently introduced, brought on some advisors to our team, some notable advisors that we'll be announcing in the next couple of weeks or so. So there's a lot of things going on with Asensys, and we really are excited to be joining with you and then also sharing with your viewers on some of the really monumental development that we have for in the not only just in the blockchain world, but also to all the internet users.
Mm-hmm. Great. And it's great to hear about the project early on before the testnet is even live, and we'll see how that plays out. So that's something to look forward to. And one of the main factors of adoption of blockchains is the development. And if we could jump into the development a little bit more, how easy is it for developers to develop applications on top of Asensys? What's the programming language, and does it require specialized technical knowledge specific to blockchain?
Sure. So our account model is based on high-level programming language, which makes it just as simple as people developing on Ethereum today. And of course, like all technology startup, we are very close to the voice of our users, our developers, and we'll be constantly listening to their feedback in refining our technology to make sure that we stay close to the market and making sure that we are better than current technology, because we thoroughly understand that is the exact reason why we will win in this market.
And the Ethereum community right now has the most amount of blockchain developers out of all the communities. How are you going to incentivize developers to program with Asensys rather than any other blockchain?
Sure. So we actually work with all types of cryptocurrency. So we actually welcome all of the developers in transacting on the site. More specifically, what we do is that the fact that our platform is built with the purpose to help developers build new technology and new product, which will connect them with their users and then also achieve their goals as well as monetize in between in a more secure as well as in a more secure and a more confident matter. So that's really our goal in terms of what we're doing here at Asensys.
That's great. And how many people are on the development team focused on working towards the testnet right now?
Sure. So we are always, first of all, we have, like I said, we have a global team. We have teams in Asia. We have teams in Europe. Our base is here in North America. And we are always looking for talent who are passionate about blockchain, who are passionate about creating a decentralized web that serves the purpose of humankind. That's really our goal here. So we have a global team. Like I said, in terms of the developers, we're always looking for talents to join us, who are skilled at computer science, who are writing, who are coding, and who are always looking at challenging themselves. So that's really where we're at right now.
Okay. And do you plan on having a marketing and business development team to more easily integrate the Asensys blockchain, either through enterprise clients or for specific use cases in specific industries?
Absolutely. So that is a great question. So my background is actually in marketing and then also customer engagement. So while also a part of my COO role here at Asensys, I'm also looking at customer engagement and also looking at what are some of our enterprise needs, because the core purpose of Asensys, by creating a decentralized web, we thoroughly understand that in order to cater to the developers and also the mass public, we also have to think about our enterprise clients in mind. And also, how do we serve these enterprise clients in helping them scale what they're looking to achieve through either the IoTs or just, very frankly, through whatever they're working on, whether it's Walmart, through their organic grocery, or it's a luxury chain through how authentic their merchandise must be. So we're constantly thinking about that. But of course, like any startup, we're starting one step at a time, making sure that we have robust technology in order for us to fulfill all of those promises that Asensys is set out to achieve.
Mm-hmm. That's great. And you mentioned that you've solved the trilemma of security and decentralization with scalability. What does the scalability look like in terms of the throughput of all the transactions going through the network, potentially when the testnet comes out?
Thank you for asking that question, because that is actually one of the things that I'm most proud of. In terms of the transactions, we're looking at completing a transaction of 10,000 transactions per second. And because through our experiment, we were able to achieve 2,000 throughput and then also 1,000 capacity. And that is significantly higher than any of the products out there in the market right now. So that's why within Asensys, everyone on the team is really excited to come out to the market and then and share with the world on what we're able to achieve as a team. And then we really look forward to the users coming to us and then sharing their interest with us and see what we can really contribute to this decentralized web in the future.
Very cool. And with those transactions, I'm guessing there will be some sort of gas costs, and will that relate to some kind of Asensys coin that's used as a transaction cost, or is there a currency integrated into the network as well?
Good question. So right now, so like I said, we will accept all kinds of cryptocurrency. In terms of Asensys coin, of course, we are going to adapt in the market. We are going to be looking and listening very actively to the users as well as to the space to determine, what is most suitable for us. We are every single day, we're very driven to the core of the purpose of why we're here, is to serve and achieve the decentralized web by serving the developer, by serving the users of this decentralized web. So more to come on that.
Great. And as a company that's helping grow this project, rather than being like a volunteer community driven project, is the Asensys going to need to sustain itself with some kind of income streams, and how will that function as the mainnet is developed?
Thank you. So yes, of course, as we are starting out, as we have just announced our inaugural existence last month, there have been some venture capitalists that have actually approached us and expressing interest, and we are moving into our Series A funding in the next few months or so. So again, we're very excited about that. We're flattered by the fact that we have some interest towards us already. So we are excited to see, the future of Asensys, but we know that currently we are healthy, we are strong, and we are just super excited the fact that, come summer, we're going to be able to launch our testnet.
Mm-hmm. Great. And what do you need in the meantime? Are you looking for more team members, I think you mentioned? What about strategic partnerships or developers, and how can they reach out and learn more?
Thank you. So yes, we are always looking for people who are excited and passionate about disrupting a industry, and what we're creating is certainly a disruptive technology that is going to provide internet users with a more secure, decentralized opportunity to hold their data more secure to themselves. That's really the core of Asensys. So for all of those that are interested in staying in touch of Asensys, please log on to our website, www.asensys.com, and stay in touch. We have an email subscription that they can stay in touch with. We have our Twitter active. We have our LinkedIn page also active. For all of those that are interested in joining the Asensys team, please connect with us. We are thrilled to have your interest, and then also to see if there's any opportunities available. But like I said, Ashton, I think we are just more than ecstatic to be in this space, to be able to create greatness together.
Great. Well, I'll leave those links in the description box below. And thank you so much for taking the time, Michelle, for the interview. That's all the time that we have today, but let's follow up in the near future.
Awesome. Thank you so much.